Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Miasin. Welcome to the deck review episode, I think 5 or something. Again, should I really keep track? Maybe I'm just going to add like a hashtag or something in like the top left corner of the thumbnails and just not even consider it in the title because it's gonna be a drag for me, but yeah. Before we start, friendly reminder to like, subscribe, check the Discord server, all the beautiful package, you already know it, and let's get right into it. So this guy is actually playing, he submitted the Lightsworn deck, by the way, as you can clearly tell. And yes, it is not a Dragon Link deck. I know every time people see a Rocket Tracer, Rocket Recharger, and Quick Launch, they're like, wow, Dragon Link. But no, this is really spicy. It doesn't even play LP, man. It makes like Chaos Ruler Demonic or Pepega Ruler or something. Dude, I don't know the memes. Okay, I don't even watch Twitch and stuff like that. I don't know why they call it Pepega Ruler or something. But yeah, this card is really good. It excavates 5 and then adds 1 light or dark from your random excavate pile and then sends the rest from the deck to the graveyard. Yeah, this card actually does make you lose the droll, by the way, in case you were wondering, because there is no such thing as the excavate pile. So yeah, if you can't search from your deck to your hand, you can't use the effect of Chaos Ruler. I mean, I think you can, but you just cannot add the card to your hand. You can just like mill 5, I think. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, 3 Levinier, 3 Chaos Creator. I think Levinier 3 is a bit too much, but I mean, that should be good. Chaos Creator is a bit easier to summon because it's only 2 monsters, but at the same time, it's a light and a dark. So if you have 2 lights, you also can't make it. If you have 3 lights, though, you unlock Levinier, but not Chaos Creator, and vice versa. Chaos Valkyrie is a 3 of, I feel is a bit too much. It's a hard once per turn on all the effects, so I think 2 is just enough for this one, but it has a cool effect when it gets banished. You can send a light or dark from your deck to the graveyard. You can special summon it, but you can't use its effect. In other words, 2 cool things that you can do are send Archlord Christia and send Seifert. So either Christia, you just send it and then you revive it back with Creator or Levinier, or Seifert, you send it and then next turn you recycle back the Levinier and you have a follow-up, so that's nice. Chaos Space, this card is a starter in this deck, ironically, since it searches you that Seifert, or no, sorry, not Seifert, the baby dragons, and then you can start making Striker Dragon, Hieratic Seal, etc. So yeah, that's really nice, and obviously, by making Striker Dragon, you search the boot sector launch, so if you have access to Rocket Tracer, you can special summon it and then make Chaos Ruler Demonic. So that's just really nice, and then if you get Nibiru while you have Hieratic Seal on the field, you can summon a dragon monster from your deck, and obviously, Brotor is not a part of this deck list, unfortunately. I wish, man. I freaking love Brotor, but yeah, unfortunately not today. Then we also have 3 Raiden, 3 Wolf, and 3 Charge of the Light Brigade. Solar Recharge is not a part of it because of the fact that you only have really space for 6 Lightsworns. The other ones wouldn't be broken. I was actually experimenting on my side with Lumina, but the issue with Lumina is that it's a brick if you don't have a Lightsworn specifically in your graveyard. You can't have like an empty graveyard and then go normal summon Lumina and then discard like a Lightsworn like Raiden, for example, then summon right away. You have to have a Lightsworn preemptively, which is kind of a bummer, but it's not the end of the world. All you have to do is just not play the card, and then obviously with less targets, Solar Recharge is a brick more often than not. And then we have, yeah, the 3 Rocket Tracer, 2 Rocket Recharger. This is a perfect ratio. I love it. And then 3 Quick Launch, not once per turn, very fair and healthy card design. Nicely done, Konami. And then Boot Texture Launch, which is searchable by Striker Dragon. The 2 Baby Dragons, 2 Seiferts. Yeah, I like that. I mean, it's a good card because on normal summon, it actually does something. And when you mill it, it also does something. So this, to a certain extent, you can even argue to play it as a 3 of, which I think is really adorable. So yeah, that's cool. And then Archlord Christia, Plague Spreader Zombie. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest. I know what Plague Spreader Zombie can usually do, but when I saw this deck list, I didn't really have a good feeling about this card. I felt like you wouldn't really be plussing with a card too much. You would kind of be losing a card, if anything, and then you weren't really doing unfair things with Plague Spreader. You were just linking up into kind of just plain, vanilla, boring Link monsters. It's not really like you were going to Needle Fiber and then do some broken plays, or sync with Malicious for Chaos Ruler or Mega. So yeah, I mean, that's just unfortunate. I'm not a really big fan of Plague Spreader here. Then we have Gizmek Orochi. That's a decent card in this deck because when you mill it or when you draw it, it's kind of a free summon, but not really free because you have to banish 8. So that's one of the perks of playing more than 40. You can kind of rely on this a bit more. And obviously it doesn't banish 10, it's not like Desire, so I don't know, man, maybe that banish 2 difference kind of could matter. Photon Thrasher, now the one suggestion that I had as soon as I saw that was maybe play Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser, but when you're playing stuff like Reinforcement of the Army, it's nice to have just more warriors at your disposal, so yeah, it definitely makes sense to play Thrasher over the Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser. And by the way, another random tip, some people probably already know this, but when you have Thrasher and Charge of the Light Brigade, you have to special summon the Thrasher before activating the charge, and now you might be saying, well, I mean, why would it matter? It's Charge of the Light Brigade is only searching a card. Well, it also sends 3 monsters from deck to grave to cost. So if you mill something like a Wolf or a Trick... Oh, sorry. Yeah, Trick Clown is not part of this deck yet, but don't worry, it'll be. Something like a Wolf, well, it's a mandatory effect to special summon itself, and then the Thrasher becomes a dead card. So if you want to nullify this, definitely summon the Thrasher first. Anyways, Foolish. Foolish is broken in this deck. I love it, man. So many options. Wolf, Safer, Tygus Plexperter, Christia, Chaos Valkyria. I love this card, and even Gizmek. Then we have Reinforcement of the Army, Imperial Order that you actually send with Curious, so you can Griffin it back, and then Dark Ruler no more, because he's opted not to play any hand traps, which makes sense because otherwise the deck would be like a 60-card abomination, and honestly wouldn't be super consistent. Anyways, for the extra deck, Appaloosa, good if you want to play around Nibiru, Griffin, Scaldite. Honestly, when I was testing the deck, I was never making Scaldite. I always wanted to play through Nibiru, so I was making Appaloosa with like a weaker board, quote-unquote. But, I mean, I kind of get it. And then Curious, Phoenix, Unicorn. Lambda, I didn't really understand why Lambda wasn't there, because Phoenix is already your generic Link 2, and you're not playing actual Cypher monsters, so this just looked a bit unnecessary, unless you want to have like an extra light monster in the graveyard. But I actually, as a matter of fact, I think having a light fairy in your graveyard actually matters, because sometimes you can link up your monsters and then have exactly 4 fairies, so even drawing Christia could actually be good. And by the way, the way you have 4 fairies in your graveyard is by having Minerva with a bunch of Chaos Valkyrias, and I think there's another card, well yeah, an extra deck card in your graveyard, so yeah. Anyways, we've got Hieratic Seal with Masquerena, Striker Dragon, Borreload Savage, or Boral Sword Savage, as E.T. Pat would say. Boral Savage. Chaos Ruler Demonic, Harbinger Dragon, Titanic Galaxy. Shoutouts to the Titanic movie. And then Abyss Dweller Minerva. The good Minerva, not the bad Minerva, the level 3 garbage. No, not that. Not today. But yeah, anyways, let's get into my version of the deck list. Alright, so I actually made it a bit shorter. Went from 45, I believe, to 43. And I actually added some one-ofs and actually cut down some ratios. So Levineer is now at 2, Chaos Valkyria is now at 2. And then apart from that, yeah, I mean, I actually added 1 Trick Clown, which is really nice. I think it's a good card, man. It's just an extra wolf, but at the same time, it's the best Xyz material that your Minerva can have. So if you mill the Trick Clown, try to use it as an Xyz material instead of a Synchro material, because it's going to come back again and again and again and again and again. So obviously with the Dweller and the Minerva, it's really, really nice. And then Thrasher is still a 2, Reinforcement of the Army. Now, Dragon's Ravine is a really nice one, because I'm also experimenting with Romulus. Romulus is really cool, man. Instead of making Hieratic Seal, sometimes you can make Ravine and then pitch the Saferd or something like that. If you played Abso Router, I could actually recommend playing Abso Router in this deck. We're actually going to... Sorry, this is definitely not how we do it. But yeah, if you play Abso Router, this is the kind of card that you can actually pitch with a Dragon's Ravine, and then you can search for Rocket Tracer and kind of do some plays from there. As you can see from my DS section, I also have LP, which is kind of adorable and really cute, so you can almost Guard Dragon combo, but the reason why I'm not really considering it seriously is because you would have to add like Brotor into the deck, and also add potentially just too many cards, like a second Striker Dragon, the Quad Boral, Unchained Abomination, and at this point the deck would just no longer be a Lightsworn deck. You could just use the argument, oh yeah, but just play Dragon Link at this point, and unfortunately it would be viable, so that's why I didn't really commit that much. Now, the Dagda. This card pretty much has the same material requirements as Lambda. It's a light just like Lambda, but this time it's actually a fairy. So if you link up, link off with this, you have another fairy count in your graveyard, and to me this actually mattered because, like I said, when I was testing this deck, and by the way, I do test your deck list, guys, just letting you know, I actually came up to this situation, I was like, wow, I actually wish I had just a generic Link to Fairy Light in my graveyard, and or in my extra deck, so I could actually put it in my graveyard, and this actually came up, so yeah. And that's pretty much it. I also cut the Plague Spreader Zombie. Gizmek is still there, even though I'm not the biggest fan. And that's pretty much it. Now, there's, yeah, nothing more I have to say, outside of the fact that I also cut the Griffin and Imperial Order, because honestly I felt like it was way too hard to get there, especially when I had to take into consideration hand traps. All of that just so some decks could still combo on my face. So I prioritized Christia over the Order, and it's ridiculously hard to have access to everything like Order, Christia, and play around hand traps in a format like this. So I think this kind of makes the most amount of sense. But anyways, that's all I had to say and showcase you guys for this beautiful Chaos Lightsworn deck review. If you guys have any comments or feedback or any decks that you want me to review, please definitely let me know in the comment section below, and also check the Discord. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.